Hello everyone, welcome to the math part of our projectile physics video. Here I've got a diagram of the video that we just showed, and as you can see the ball fell 0.76 meters down and landed 0.49 meters away from the edge of the table. You can split that motion into vertical and horizontal, and here I've got the vertical side of things. So you can see that the initial velocity is 0 meters a second vertically, and we don't know what the final velocity is, we don't know what the average velocity is, but we do know the distance it fell vertically is 0.76 meters, and we don't know the time, but we do know the acceleration because the acceleration of gravity is 9.8 meters a second squared. With all that information from the first part, we can use this equation, which is final velocity squared is equal to initial velocity squared plus 2 times acceleration times distance. Here's the same equation with the actual numbers in place of the variables, and you can see once you do all this math here with all the variables in it, you get this answer. This is the answer down here. So you can see that the final velocity is 3.86 meters a second downwards vertically. Now with all that new information, we can use this equation here to figure out what time is, because we know every other variable except for time. Here's that same equation with the actual variables put in, and we figured out that the time is equal to 0.39 seconds. And that is for vertical and horizontal. So now that we figured out the final velocity and the time, there's one more variable for the vertical aspect, and that is the average velocity. And to find the average velocity, all we need to do is final velocity plus initial velocity divided by 2. So you're just finding an average like you usually do. Here's that same equation with the variables in it. So you can see that the average velocity is 1.93 meters a second downwards. So that is the entire vertical part of this equation finished. Now we can move on to the horizontal. For the horizontal part, we don't know what the initial velocity was when it got pushed off the table. We don't know the velocity it was at when it hit the ground, and we don't know the average velocity. But these three variables we do know are going to be the same number because the acceleration is 0. So that means when it got pushed, that's the same speed it hit the ground with, and if you average those two speeds, it's obviously going to be the same number. So that's all we have to find out really, because we already know what time is from the vertical part, and we can actually use time to figure out the velocity. Okay, so we'll use this equation here to figure out the velocity. It's just a simple distance divided by time. Here's that equation with the variables in it. So we have velocity equals the distance, 0.49 meters, divided by the time, which is 0.39 seconds. And we know it's moving to the right, so it's 1.26 meters a second, right. That is the velocity. But that's also the initial, final, and average velocity. So that's it, we found all the variables. Thanks for watching me and Zach's physics video. Have a good day.